Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome, guys. We'll get started shortly. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone. We'll get started shortly. This evening is Forex, crypto, and the futures market. Forex, crypto, and the futures market. We'll get started shortly. Welcome, welcome. All right. Welcome, guys. Welcome, everyone. All right. All right. Hey, Roger, welcome. Hey, Joe, welcome. Hey, Kawisi, welcome.
Thank you.
Guys, we'll get started here. I'm going to share my trading screen. All right, let's do that. I'm going to share my screen. So you guys should see my trading screen right here. All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Welcome. All right. All right. Hey, Yo Kid, welcome. Hey, Solomon, welcome. Let's talk about this. What was the big news last week? You guys remember what the big news last week? What happened last week? What happened last week, if you guys remember? Anyone
Forex.
remember? What's that?
Forex.
Forex. Yeah, but yeah, we got sell signals, right? So we got sell signals on the equity markets. All right, so let's take a look at that. So we have sell signals on the Dow, the S&P, NASDAQ, and the Russell. All right, so we'll take a look at these markets, right? These indexes, the equity markets in the futures, right? Futures market, so that I can show you guys those sell signals. All right, so just remember, we should be out of equities. So if you guys have any stocks out there, pay attention to those stocks. Look at those stocks closely, because we do have sell signals on the market. So you guys should see my chart here. The Monster Futures Tracker. All right. So I'll go through this. All right. Go to the markets, and then we'll open up the floor for any questions and any symbols you guys might want to take a look at. All right. All right. All right. So right here, right here is the Dow, right here is the Dow. And if you guys look here, we got a sell signal on the Dow, right? So we no longer have that Christmas rally we've been talking about. Okay, so the Dow failed, right? So it failed right here. All right. So let's draw that in. All right, and this is important. All right, we were looking at support right about here, here. All right here. All right, resistance right here, and it failed. So this is critical, guys. When we look at these markets, all right, there's sellers here, all right, sellers here, all right. And guess what? Markets failed to move higher to hold above resistance right here, right? And give a sell signal. So we have a sell signal by the system right here, and we've got red candles right here. All right, same thing here. When it failed, look what happened after it failed. Sellers came in, right, and moved the price lower. Same here. All right, so we've got to be careful. We should be out of the equity markets, out of stocks. All right, until this change, right? At some point in the future, whenever that happens, we'll get a buy signal. But until then, we should be out of equities. All right, out of equities. All right. All right. So red candles here. Look here again, red candles. Not only do we have a sell signal here, we also have red candles right here. So very important. Price is failing to break resistance right here. All right. All right. So that's the Dow. All right. That's the Dow. Now let's take a look at, we'll take a quick look at the S&P. Hey, Bill, welcome, Bill. Welcome. All right, so that's the Dow, and that's in the futures market. All right, here's the NASDAQ, same thing with the NASDAQ. All right, and this is why we watch these guys every single week. We have to pay attention, right, to these markets every single week because things can move quickly. All right, things can move quickly. Here on the NASDAQ, all right, we have a sell signal right here, right? Failed to move higher, right? Here is resistance. Previous resistance here becomes support. We have a sell signal, red candles. We should be out. All right, and this is the NASDAQ. So your technology stocks, you'll see those move lower. All right, unless things change. But until then, we need to follow these markets, follow these sell signals. All right. All right. So that we looked at the Dow. This is the NASDAQ. Now let's take a look at the S&P. So the S&P 500. All right. And we've seen the same price action with the S&P right here, sell signal right here. You guys see that? Sell signal right there. All right. So right here, and look here, guys, this is what we want to be careful of. Whenever we get these sell signals here, all right, break up support, selling comes in. Buy signal, sell signal right here. Guess what? Sellers come in. All right. Buy signal here. And you notice it keeps failing, right? Sell signal, sellers come in, right? We can expect the same thing here. All right. And remember, a large percentage of your stocks, right? 80, 90% of your stocks will follow, right? These indexes. All right. All right. Hey, Gerald. Welcome, Gerald. Welcome.
Hi, David.
Hello. All right. And the last one, I want to go through this just to make sure you guys are aware of this and you see what's happening. All right, so that you're not caught off guard. Hey, Ranjit, welcome. All right. And then the Russell, the last one here is the Russell. All right, the Russell here. And we see the same type of price action, same sell signal in the Russell also. All right, so that Christmas rally we've been talking about, that's done. It's done. It's done for now, unless things drastically change. All right. So again, all right, sell signal here, buy signal was here, sell signal was here, sellers came in, buy signal was here, sell signal was here, sellers came in, buy signal was here, sell signal was here, sellers came in, markdown phase, all right, buy signal was here, sell signal was here, sellers are now coming in, so we have to wait. We have to stay out and wait. All right. The market is overall, right, in the markdown phase, right, on the daily time frame. And I know on the monthly time frame, we're approaching all-time highs, but on the daily time frame, we are moving lower. All right. All right. All right. Now, I know we looked at we'll take a look at Forex, but I want to show you guys this. And those of you who have been with us for a while, you guys know we've been trading the dollar, right? The dollar index. All right. We'll look for the dollar to trade the dollar again. It's too early, but it looks like it's setting up nicely. Remember, when the equity markets go lower, when the equity markets move lower, guess what? The dollar will move higher. All right. And it's up right now, but we'll look for the dollar to turn up. All right. Perhaps break resistance up in this area. It's still it can move quickly, right? But it's not, it's starting to set up. It's not there yet. But if the equity markets continue to move lower, right? Remember this, right? Keep an eye on the dollar. All right. Keep an eye on the dollar. All right. Let's go here. Bitcoin. All right. Bitcoin is now at 16,000, right? So it's back at 16,700 and change. Okay. So we'll look now. Bitcoin is consolidating a bit, right? At 16, 18,000. All right. Our target is still 10,000 on Bitcoin. All right. So we're still at 10,000. That hasn't changed. Okay, so we still have a target at 10,000 on Bitcoin. If these markets move lower, we could see Bitcoin make a big move lower. It's not that far. 16,000 for Bitcoin, 10,000 is not that far. Okay, so that's still our target right here. If Bitcoin can get to 10,000, all right, which it looks likely to happen, then our next support area is about 42,000, I would say around 5,000. Okay, so about 5,000, and that's where we might see Bitcoin slow down a bit and consolidate. All right, so right in here, like it did before, right here is between 10,000 right here, 10,000 and 5,000 here. Right? So right between here is where we might see Bitcoin consolidate a bit. All right. So we look for Bitcoin to move to 10,000, right? Consolidate a bit here. And then this will be a big decision to be made, right? Whether it can hold the 5,000 here, all right? Hold support at 5,000, okay? Or breakthrough resistance at 10,000. It's still early, all right, but that's if it gets to that area, that's what we'll look for. All right. So we'll expect some consolidation right here. And then if it breaks support here at 5,000, right, if it can get to 10, then break 5, then that's going to be a big concern. All right, big concern for Bitcoin. All right. And I'm not saying that will be the end of it for Bitcoin, but much lower prices. And then we'll see down the road, right? Hopefully down the road, we'll get a buy signal. And usually, hopefully it drops really low, right? And we can pick it up at a very good price. All right. So, but not yet, too early, way too early to do anything on Bitcoin. All right. All right. Any questions before I get into Forex? Any questions on any of this before I get into Forex?
Hi David.
Hey, Ranger.
So for this Bitcoin thing, right? Like, what do you recommend? Like, just keep it away, or whoever is holding it up, can they still hold it?
Well, based, I can't give any recommendations, right? Hey, Dean, welcome, right? But based on what the system is telling us here, we should be out, right? Most of our traders um, that trade with us, trade the systems, they're out of Bitcoin. And remember, Bitcoin is used as a barometer or can be used as a barometer, right, for the entire crypto market, right? Just like we can use the S&P, right, the NASDAQ, the Russell, right, and the Dow as a barometer for the equity markets, right? So most stocks, a large percentage of stocks, right, upwards in the 80s, 90% of stocks will follow the Dow, the S&P, NASDAQ, and the Russell. Same thing here. Same thing here. All right. Most of your cryptos out there will follow Bitcoin, right? They will follow Bitcoin's lead. So as Bitcoin moves lower, right, and it is moving lower, right? It is moving lower. It's making lower highs and lower lows. All right. It is in the markdown phase. This is a weekly time frame. So if you guys look here, it's making lower highs and lower lows, right? So here, it's not making higher highs and higher lows. So it's definitely moving lower. All right. All right. So most of the cryptos out there will follow it. Um, so the idea is when it's going through that markdown phase, right? Just let it continue to go through that markdown phase. We do have, like I said, we do have support down at that 10,000 mark. Hold on. I'm not very good at doing this straight.
No, I do understand that, David. So my question was like, whoever just missed out, right? And they are still holding it. Overall, for long term, is it still good to hold it, or just sell it off and then enter it again when it goes to 10 or 5K?
Okay, so you're saying if one is holding Bitcoin, you're saying continue to hold and then buy more when it goes lower? Is that your question?
Yeah, right. So whoever is holding it up and it's already like down by 50 or more percent down, right?
Okay.
So should a person should be holding it up or should sell it right now and come back again when it goes to 10 or 5 grand, as you were just saying about earlier?
Okay. Well, let me ask you, what do you think?
That's what I'm asking you.
Well,
I don't know. I don't know.
you don't know. Okay. Well, let's do
There's
this
like,
then. Let's do
yeah,
this. All right.
there's
So
like right now, whoever is like lost the money, right? It's already the lost game, right?
yeah.
So
So
should we
yeah.
just sell it off right now at the loss, or just keep holding? Means like it will go further down for 10 grand, as you were saying. It looks like most likely it will go down until unless some miracles happen,
Okay.
right?
So I like you guys to think, right? I want you to think about it, right? They were traders that bought it here, okay, at 65,000. We're not gonna worry about this because right now this is what we're dealing with right here. We know we're not in the markup phase, right? We're not in the markup phase here. We're in the markdown phase. All right. So let's use this example right here. Okay. So right now it's at 16,007 and 780, whatever it is, right? All right. Let me ask you, Ranjit. The people that bought at 65,000, right? Do you think they thought it would go up to 100,000?
Yeah, I think that was the that was the understanding. It will go into 100k. Like
Okay.
the market, everyone was trying to push up. That's why all the stupid people just like me also entered over there.
Well, yeah, it's just yeah. Okay, so let's okay. So now, so it went from 65,000, and let's go here to let's do here 55,000. How do you think those traders feel that now the ones that bought at 65 and now it's right here at 55,000 right here? How do you think they feel?
Yes, of course, they will feel bad.
Okay,
It's going down.
how about the ones that bought here, all right, at 40,000, right? They bought here at about 40,000. And this is all during the markdown phase, right? They bought at 40,000. How do you think they feel now that the price is came down to 24,000, right? How do you think they feel? So those traders that bought at 40,000, how do you think they feel or felt when the price dropped to 24,000?
Just they would not be able to sleep.
Yeah, so my question now is it's at 16,000. What if it goes down to here, like I said, right? Let's say 5,000, right? Because what we assume is that it's going to go back up to 60,000. There's no guarantee that it's going to go back up to 60,000. So the analogy of holding and then buying it cheaper to hopefully go back up, that might not happen. Because the traders that bought, the individuals that bought here, like I said, right, at 65,000, they thought it would go to 100,000. Otherwise, they would not have bought, purchased, right? And the traders that bought at 55,000 thought that it was a deal and that it would go back to 50, 65,000 and 100,000. But guess what? It keeps going lower. So the idea, the mindset of, hey, hold on to it, right? Let it continue to go down and perhaps buy it back at a cheaper price, that's flawed because there's no guarantee. There's no guarantee. There's absolutely no guarantee that Bitcoin could get back to 65,000, 50,000, right? And and there's no guarantee that it could go to 5,000 either, right? We just have to trade the phases. What we do know is this. We do know it's in the markdown phase, right? And our job, we can do two things: stay out or short it, right? We can short it, the price action, right? Or we just stay out and wait. But we can't buy. And if we're in, just understand, if we're in it long and it's in the markdown phase, this is what can happen. All right. And I'll show you guys some examples with the yen pairs. All right, with the yen pairs. All right, this makes sense. Ranjit, does this answer your question?
Yeah, there is another analogy like Bitcoin holds the value, you know, and they have another analogy like Bitcoin halves every like 3 or 4 years or whatever that is, and it's just a digital gold and all those stuff analogy, right? So eventually, it's going to be a kind of a gold asset, like kind of a digital gold asset, right? So there is another mindset of keep holding that asset. So
Let me
what do you
ask you.
think about that?
Okay. And yes, that is a mindset. But what if it goes to 500? Do you feel the same way? And what if it goes to 500 and it stays at 500 for 10 years or 15 years or 20
Yeah,
years?
yeah, like that's what I really don't understand this Bitcoin thing. Like this is something different asset.
No, it's
Like
not
there's a
different. No,
company,
no, 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 no,
like
it's not.
like
No, it's not different.
no means like I can understand the stock like Apple stock or
It's all the
Microsoft
same. It's
stock
all the
is
same.
depends on the company performance and it goes up and down.
Mhm.
How does the crypto like Bitcoin works, right? What
Well,
is
okay,
the
okay. I'll stop.
concept
I'll
behind
stop.
why it is
Yeah,
keeps on going up, why it
okay.
is keeps on going down, right? Who is making them go up and down? It's just a buyer and seller, but what are the other concept behind it, right?
Okay.
I
So
know, I'm asking some big question, but just want you
no,
there's
it's a
some
very
bullet point,
okay,
simple question,
okay,
simple
okay,
answer.
okay, okay, okay. All right, all right. It's a simple question. It's a very simple question. All right. And I'm glad you brought this up. Okay. So write this down. All right. And everyone, right? It's price. Price is price is price. Remember, right? It doesn't matter what the news say. It doesn't matter. Everything is built. Every instrument is the same. Yes, some will have more volatility. Some will move a bit differently, but it's all the same. Okay. Now, if we think that Bitcoin is different, hold on. If we think that Bitcoin, the price, think of the price action now. This price action here is absolutely the same as this price action here, as this price action here. It's all the same. Yeah.
Markdown trend.
It's all the same, right? Once we make the determination that this price action here, all right, is different from this price action and is different from this price action, then we're not trading, right? We're doing something else. We're doing something totally different than trading. All right. Now we're like, no, we're like everyone else, and we believe in we believe in the hype, right? Now, when the equity markets, we just went through this, right? When the equity markets, the Dow gave this sell signal here on, when was it? Thursday or Friday, it gave a sell signal, right? The Christmas rally we've been talking about. It doesn't matter if this Christmas rally happened for the last 60 years, it doesn't matter. The price action will tell us otherwise. All right. So this is where we get caught, right? If we trade anything else other than the price action. All right. So Bitcoin right here, if you guys look here, look at Ethereum. Ethereum is doing the same thing. It's not just Bitcoin. Litecoin is doing the same thing, right? Look at this here. They're all doing the same thing. Okay. So our job is the two things we can do. Like I said, we can short it, short the markdown phase, or stay out, because we don't know how far this markdown phase can go. And then we don't know how long it could stay there. All right. So the first thing we have to do, the absolute first thing we have to do as price action traders, all right? We are price action traders, right? We don't trade what could be, what if, right? Now we might have scenarios, right? But we follow the price action. Okay. And I know it's hard to do. And there's a lot, listen, there's a lot of good stuff with Bitcoin, right? There's a lot of good stuff with Tesla, right? Facebook. But guess what? doesn't matter. The price is still going lower, right? So our opinion about the underlying asset doesn't really matter, right? So we can use that for entertainment, and I don't even like doing that. But when it comes to the price, we trade the price. So buying here, buying at 50,000, right? And hoping that it goes lower to buy more, guess what? You're going to take a loss. By the time it gets to 10,000 right here, and you're up at 50,000, guess what? We're not going to buy more. You're not going to buy more at 10,000, right? If you bought at 50,000, we're not going to buy more. Uh, Probably you're going to look to get out. All right. You're not going to be happy with Bitcoin, right? So what we want to do is we want to be out. What we want to do is this. We want to have bought here. I'm spending a lot of time on here, but this is important. What we want to do is we want to buy in that markup phase. Hold on. All right. So we want to buy in that markup phase and sit out in that markdown phase. Now, this is on the weekly time frame. We would not have traded. We traded it on the daily time frame, but guys will still get the idea. So let's say we bought here at 10,000, would have gotten out here. Okay. Tested it again, got out here, and then be out. Okay. Be out of it. So we want to be in. We trade only the markup phase, only the markup phase. All right. All right. Okay. We spent too much time on this. Make sense? Ranjit, make sense?
Yeah, means no, definitely, like what you're saying, Facebook, Apple, or whatever, this Bitcoin just go by the price action, right? So we are not in love with this thing, right? Whatever,
Yeah.
like we just
Yeah.
go and like, so just get out of that, and when there is a markup phase, then get in. So whatever loss is loss, right? Just
Yeah.
like
Yeah. And it's so hard to do, right? It's really, really
exactly,
hard.
it's so hard to,
It's
it's
hard
very
to
hard to
do.
do.
Yeah. It's really hard to do. But as traders, it's what we need to do, right? It's what we need to do.
No,
All
I see
right.
that, like you're saying, there is no guarantee of going back up, which I don't know, like which is true or false. Nobody knows that, but who knows where this will go, right? Nobody knows. So just get out. When there is a markup phase, we definitely know it's going to go up. Then just get in, right?
Yeah,
I see
I'm
what you're
gonna show
saying.
you guys. I'll show you an example here. You guys should see. Do you guys still see my chart? The chart in here. You guys still see the
Yeah,
charts?
yeah, we can see.
Okay, I'm gonna show you guys an example
Yeah.
here, and this is a real live example. I worked for this company after college. It's called Pitney Bowes, and I remember this clearly. I worked for the company right out of graduate school, and I want to show you guys something here. And from time to time, I will watch this stock just as a reminder for even myself, right? Of what happens to price. Let's see here. Like I said, I worked for this company for years. All right. And I remember, I think I started with them around 92, 93. I remember this. clearly this was and Pitney Bowes does the postage machines, million meters and all of that, right? I remember when this was near the dot com, right? 1999, 2000 made a high of $70. Hey Zaire, welcome.
Yeah, look at that. It keeps on going down and down. I see your
Yeah,
point.
yeah. It made a high of $70 back in 1999, right? So back in 1999, it made a high of $70. And today it's at $3.85. And this company here was like IBM, Xerox. This is an old, right? Fortune 50, not Fortune 500. At the time, it was a Fortune 50 company. Everyone wanted to work with Pitney Bowes, IBM, Xerox. Those were back in that time. Those were, you know, you want to work for corporate America. Those are the companies you work for. I think Xerox. I don't think their stock is doing well either. But look here, you if and back then those companies were kind of like Bitcoin, right? Back in the day. And it made a high in 1990, right around 2000, right? Of around 70, 75 or so, right up here. And all these years later, right? 22 years later, all right? So think about all those individuals, right? All those individuals, and I had stock with them, right? All those individuals that had kept on buying stock, kept on buying company stock, 401k also, right? Right? Kept on buying, kept on, guess what? They all thought that, guess what? It's Pitney Bowes. It's not going anywhere. It's always done well, right? It's got a monopoly on the industry. It's not going to go anywhere. Stock's going to go back up, right? This is what happens. This is what happens. And it's real.
Internet. Internet
this is
and email.
Really eye-opening.
What's that, Dean?
The internet happened and email.
Yeah. Yeah. And guess what? Something Bitcoin might have opened things up, right? With digital money or whatever, right? But guess what?
Yeah.
There might be another company out there that does things a bit better than Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
Right? And Bitcoin never goes back up and or continues to go down. And this other company, guess what? Comes out, revolutionize things, and that's where everyone goes.
Yeah, David, look at Tesla.
Tesla, yeah, let's take a look at Tesla.
Tesla is bleeding.
Zaire, what's the symbol? I see how I don't even pay attention to the symbols.
TSLA. Tesla is very bad. It's bleeding.
Well,
52 weeks low.
TSLA, right? Tesla. Okay, so let's take a look at Tesla here. Okay, so Tesla made a high, this on the monthly time frame, right? So made a high, and it looks like, believe it or not, it's really on the monthly time frame, just started really selling. So it made a high of around 400, and it's at 150 now. So 400 here, right? And it's at 150 here. Right? We don't have any support, real support, until down in this area here. which probably is about $30. Is Tesla a great company? Absolutely. Right? They have great vehicles. Absolutely. We see them all the time, all over the road, right? My son wants a Tesla. Right? Great vehicles. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. All right. Doesn't matter. Do we want to be, do we want to feel good about the company, or do we want to make money?
Yeah, of course, make money. What's there are thousands of companies.
Yeah. It's just a symbol, right? So as traders, we're just looking for a vehicle, right? We're just looking for a vehicle, right? No pun intended.
So what do you think about this Tesla? It will go to like 30. There is no hard support. Like maybe I'm seeing like 50 right
Well,
now.
if the market continues to be bearish, yeah, there is no support, right? There is no support until down here, which is the scary part, right? And
Yeah.
we got a red candle here. So we have a sell signal here. This is on the monthly time frame now. Sell signal here, right? And guess what? We have a red candle here. This is scary. This is
I
scary.
think I think Elon is his own worst enemy because when he starts selling stocks and everybody starts selling after him, right?
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. But the thing is, we don't have to know, right? We
That's
don't
true.
have to know. It's all in here. It's all here.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to know. Hey Taj, welcome. All right. So I wanted to show you guys this because for me, this was a wake-up call, right? For some of you, we've had a lot of new traders within the last year come in through Bitcoin, right? So use Bitcoin as a lesson, right? That we'll never do that again, right? So this was, you know, a PBI, Pitney Bowes Inc. That was a lesson for me, right? Right? That was a lesson here. And I've had many lessons. I've had many lessons, right?
Mm-hmm.
So those of you who, got caught up in Bitcoin, use that as your lesson. And we have lots of traders that
Yeah.
got caught up with Bitcoin, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And we'll never do that again. Right. Never have that thought process that you know, it can go back up. Because the reality is it might never get back to 65. It might never get back to 50,000. It might never get back to 30,000. It could get to $5. It could, Ranjit, get back to $5, get to $5. At one time it was at $5, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it could get back at $5 and it could stay there. All right. All right.
Just a quick thought, David. Sorry I'm asking you too much question, but like, what do you really think the controlling price for Bitcoin? Like, as it was one day $5, why did it go that high? Just the buying and selling demand, or there is anything else, or just like the market hype and
It's just the hype, right? It's you and I. And that's what the markets are. The markets are human behavior. You and I. Speculation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are there fundamental drivers? Yes. But who create those fundamental drivers? We do.
Yeah.
So when it's out of favor, guess what? When it's out of favor, right? Will you buy something that's out of favor, not in style anymore? Probably not, right? You go on to the next thing. So there are traders who will give up on Bitcoin at some point. They're still holding on, But if it goes to 5,000, if it goes to 2,000, if it goes to 5,000, then they'll finally give up and move to something else. But guess what? If they start buying again, we'll see that and then we'll buy, but we'll buy at a better price. We'll buy a lower price. Okay. So that's the mindset. That's the mindset we need to have. So we need to flip it. And it's hard. It's really, really hard. But those of you who got caught up in Bitcoin, just use that as an example of what not to do, right? Of what not to do. Now,
Yeah, this is a big lesson. Thank you so much, David. So just like sell it off and just move on to the next one, right? So I totally agree.
yeah,
Thank you very much. Yeah,
yeah. It's not easy, right? It's not easy. But think of
yeah. This
everything
this is
else.
this is tough. This is toughest part, right? Like, yeah, absolutely agree. This is the toughest part. Like, no, but you really made it very clear today by showing that other stock. I don't know about that other stock which is sold. It can keep going down and down forever. Like, this can be the future for the crypto, Bitcoin also. So who knows?
Yeah. And if uh, and economies can do the same thing. Okay. Right. We saw that with Japan, right? Japan their economy has been down for almost 30 years now. All right. 20 something years.
Yeah, absolutely. Their index are so down.
Yeah.
Like it can do like that with S&P here as well, right?
Yeah.
So
So if
so
our market, go ahead, Ranger.
no, I was just trying to tell you like the what you are really teaching, just eye opener for all of us, that go by buy action, price action, buy and sell, look for that and just trade according to that. Otherwise, just buy and hold concept is totally foolish. It's just like it's totally foolish. Yeah,
Yeah.
I get you.
Yeah. Um, and there is a school of thought out there, right? And the
Yeah,
goal
like
is not the goal is not to change what's out there, right? 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 The the establishment, right? Walls, that's not going anywhere. All right. Our job is to think outside the box, right? And think differently. All right. And trade differently. That's our job. We're not trying to change the world. Our job is to just look at what is and trade what is. All right. Now, the benefit that we have is that we need this to happen. All right. So I want you guys to think a little differently now, right? We need this to happen so that we can profit from it. We need Bitcoin, right, to go down. We need these markets here, right? We need these markets here to go down. And we hope they go down really, really hard and really, really fast. Now, we don't want there to be pain. I'm not saying that, right? Because when these markets go down, right, people suffer. All right. But we want to be on the other side because I have suffered in these markets. You guys have suffered in these markets. That's why we are all here, right? That's why we are all here, right? So what we want to do is we want to be on, remember, I drew this out, right? The four market phases. All right. This will happen. It's going to happen. It's always happened, right? And I showed you guys the company I worked for, it happened with them, right? This will always happen. You're going to have this markup phase and you're going to have these markdown phases. It's just what it is. Our job, our job is to be in here, out here. in here, out here. If we do this and we do it consistently enough, right? We might do okay. We can't change this. You're not going to change it, right? You're not going to change this. So many times, and I will end with this. I remember, so 2000, 2000 is when I really started. I think it was 1998, 1999. A lot happened around that time. That's when we were able to trade Forex, on the retail market, trade Forex. And I want to show you guys something here. And back then we had lots of volatility in Forex. All right. Domestically, they've added a lot of restrictions in Forex. We don't have the crazy leverage. You can go outside of the country to get the leverage. And even that leverage isn't what we used to have in Forex. So right here, Monster Scalper, we had a lot of leverage, right? Early when Forex became available, as for us as retail traders. All right. And we are right now, the max we can do in the US is 50 to 1. You can get 500 to 1 leverage on Trader's Way or Yugo's Way, but even, there was a lot more leverage. And I remember, right, early days when I didn't have any of this, I didn't know this, I would get on my knees and pray. Okay, listen to me now. So when the market did like this here, and back then I didn't have any of this, I would literally get down on my knees 2, 3 a.m., 4 a.m. in the morning, and seriously pray that the price would change. And many times, 9 times out of 10, and those of you who've traded for a long time, you've done it too. And it doesn't matter. It keeps going where it's going to go. Mm-hmm. All right. So even praying doesn't work. All right. Even praying doesn't work. All right. So we stick to the price action. Right. What you guys have, that's 2 things you guys have that gives you an opportunity. It's not a guarantee, that you will trade well. Okay. It's not a guarantee. All right. But 2 things that you have. You have the 4 market phases. So you understand how the market moves, and then you have the price action, and you have the price action in real time. Oh, that price action doesn't lie. Okay. That price action doesn't lie. Okay, you guys saw what happened with, like I said, right, Bitcoin, and I don't pay attention to the news, but the company that blew up and all of that. I purposely do not pay attention to the news. I could do it. I can certainly pay attention. We can certainly pay attention to the news, but we have to purposely, right, not do it. Okay. Okay. Because this is what matters here. So what is setting up? Let's take a look at what is setting up. All right. Look here. We had a move in the yen pairs. This is why price action. We had a new rotation in the yen pairs. Right? You guys remember that? Was it last week?
Last week.
Last week. We had we called a new rotation in the yen pairs, right? So here we had a buy signal, and then we said, hey, all right, as a matter of fact, this is a good example. I want to show you another example. It changed quickly and we had to get out, right? Here's where we get out. Here's where the price is now. All right. Take a look at a few more. All right. Whenever you guys are in doubt, go back and look at the price. I think Stella was the one who did this. And she was amazed, right? All right, here, got out here on this candle right here. Here is price right here. I'm just randomly going through here, right? Got out here. And we don't know how far these will go, right? They could go much lower. All right, they can go much lower. But the bottom line is that we should be out. All right, we should be out. So that rotation in the yen pairs are done. But look what's setting up, right? Look what's setting up here. Look what's setting up here. The dollar pairs. Okay. You see this here? You see what's happening here? USD SEK. All right. So we shift our focus. Yeah, look at this here. Really good markdown phase. Look at that. Really good markdown phase. Let's open this up here. Look at this. What's this? USD PLN. So this is the other side of the way we need to think. USD PLN. USD PLN. You guys see anything here? USD PLN. Anything here? Anything here? Let's do this. Anything here? USD PLN? Anything here? USD HUF? Yes or no?
So David, so it seems like it had a good markup, but now it's going on the markdown phase.
Okay. Okay, how about here?
Yep, markdown.
How about here? USD CNH?
Yep.
Dollar CAD right here. Which one is this? Go ahead, then.
So I had a question. So like if on the 240, if you look at you like not even the, well, yeah, the dollar pair, not the dollar pair so much, but like the Aussie, they're all downs on the 240. I mean, when you keep talking about rotations, is that not a rotation, but in the reverse, like for markdown phase? Because they're all switched from going up to. I mean, at that point, if you go from the 240, do you go to the daily then and look at the trend from that perspective?
Okay.
Because now,
okay, so what's happening here? So what's happening here? So where were we before? What the markets were doing what before based on here? Based on here.
well, before the markets, there were less than 20 pairs. I mean, in yellow.
Yeah.
But now it's up to like 44 or 45, but it's still not a clear direction unless you look at specific ones and you can see a significant, okay, that's down, going down, markdown. But even there's like 40 pairs now in yellow, it seems like they're still kind of like in consolidation. There's still no clear direction.
Okay, remember what we talked about here? You guys remember what we talked about here? These pairs here, this group here. So
Yeah.
the markets are doing what? They're shifting, right?
Yeah.
Remember, you guys
Yeah.
remember, right? These were all, they were blue. They were going up.
Right.
The Aussie,
Yeah.
right? The New Zealand
Yep.
pairs, the yen pairs, right? They were all going up, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Right? And they follow the what? They follow the equity markets, right? So what's the equity markets doing now? And then these were going up. The dollar and euro were going down. So what's happening now?
So the change in, well, but isn't it going in like a consolidation now? Because it's like it wants to change, but
It's not consolidating. I'm glad. Okay. All right. Let's talk about this. And we'll finish with this. We'll spend a little time on this and we'll end, right? So you remember, right? Right? The Aussie, you remember this group here, the Aussie, New Zealand, and the yen pairs, they move together. All right. That's that Asian market, right? Which that market opened now. All right. The dollar pairs and the euro pairs, they go together. All right. They go together. Right. Forget about the pound pair. They do it their own thing. Right. They do their own thing. So remember the yen, remember we got buy signals, right? Buy signals, buy signals, buy signals. We had about 9 or so out of 11 buy signals on the yen pairs, right?
Yes.
And I want you guys to think, and then almost immediately we got sell signals, right? Right. So that rotation ended pretty quickly, right?
Yes.
So that whole rotation ended pretty quickly. What happened after this rotation ended and we got sell signals? What also happened? It happened a bit after. It happened a bit after, but it still happened. What else happened in the markets?
The equity, well, from the equity side? Or,
yes, the equity markets also gave sell signals.
Yes.
So that move to the upside is done. Not only in the equity markets, but over here, because they tend to, this group, Aussie, New Zealand, and yen pairs, tend to follow the equity markets.
And follow the equity market.
Yeah. So not only did we get sell signals on the Dow, S&P, NASDAQ, and Russell, but we also got sell signals, guys, on the yen, New Zealand, and Aussie to go up. So now guess what? They're coming down. They're moving down just like the equity markets. What should happen if these are the inverse? What should happen to the dollar pairs and the euro pairs? What should happen?
If they're going down, then the US and euro should go up.
They should go up.
Yeah.
They should go up. Right? So if these continue to move lower, right, we have volatility. We're no longer consolidating, right? What's happening here, right, is the market is rotating. So we have volatility. We have a lot of pairs here, right? But they have to rotate. These, all right, selling is coming in here. And guess what? Buying is coming in here. And you can see, look at the buying coming in, buying coming in, buying coming in the euro, buying coming in, buying coming in, buying coming in the dollar pairs. See that selling coming in, all that selling coming in the yen. You see this? You see it here, new down. Hold on. I know it's hard to see here.
We have only 240.
Yeah, this on the 240 now. See here, new down. See here, new down, new down, new down. That's the yen pairs here.
Mhm.
So what we should be doing is getting ready, right? Like I said, it's early, but that dollar, that whole dollar group, that euro group, there trades in the euro right now. We can trade long the euro. Okay. So, and our opinions doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how we feel about the markets. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what we think about the yen pairs, right? If we stayed in, if it gives sell signals and we stay in, guess what? We'll be caught up in that markdown phase.
Mhm.
Right.
Patience.
All right. Okay. All right. Any other questions for me? We got off track a bit, but it was good. It was good. It was good.
That's good. Yeah.
Anyone in I don't think anyone, I think Bill left. But here is Monster US 30, great short here. Okay, great short. Um uh we will keep an eye, like I said, keep an eye on the dollar. We'll be watching the dollar index. Now, anything can happen, right? We'll watch. This if we can get a movement in the dollar, this is the dollar index here, right? We would like to see some buying. It's up right now. Buying come in, all right. Perhaps a white candle, green candle, sell. This is a really nice pullback, all right, a really nice pullback here, all right. On the monthly time frame, we don't show it here, but that's setting up nicely too. Okay, but we've had really good trades in the dollar. These are some really good trades we've had in the dollar. So hopefully that's the case. All right. So just be careful with equities. On Sniper, we've got 2 puts, 1 call on Sniper. So our Sniper traders, just watch out for those Sniper trades tomorrow. All right. Equity markets are up right now in the futures market, but it's equity futures are up, but slightly up. All right, slightly up. We'll look for continued selling this week. Okay. All right, guys, that's all I've got. We've opened up the Discord again. All right.
Yes.
So you guys, you want to get on there. You guys have been asking for it. So get on there and just communicate with each other, share ideas, share trade ideas on there. Okay. Let's get that going. All right, guys. Take care.
Thank
And
you.
I will see
Thank
you
you.
guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye.
Thanks. Take
Take
care.
care.
Good night.
Thanks,
Good night.
David. Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye.
Take
David.
care, guys. Bye bye.
Good night.